Hello, 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 hello. We are going to be so brief on this live, and I might even do a part 2 tomorrow because I got people asking me, people asking me, can I do one tomorrow morning as well? And so I might do a part 2 within the groups. I look rough because I've just worked like 10 hours. Yeah, I just worked 10 hours at the store, putting up inventory and stocking, and so I look really rough. So y'all gonna have to excuse me because I ain't get all pretty and glamorous before I came on here. But I have been getting so many inboxes about colon cancer since this actor died. I noticed, trend wise, that the most people seem to be concerned about their health and things like that when they start watching and seeing stuff on the news or the media or, TV and things of that nature. So I pretty much figured that with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, that we're going to start questioning about colon cancer. And so I decided to talk a little bit about it today. Colon cancer is typically one of the first cancers that a person will get. Colon cancer typically, once it goes into the body, it spreads. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's talk a little bit. Hey, Lexi. Let's talk a little bit about how does colon cancer even develop? Okay. The diets that the typical American person is on, right? Highly processed foods. Most people that eat a lot of fast foods, junk food, things of that nature, they don't typically eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. They typically eat a lot of meat and dairy and other processed foods, imitation foods and things of that nature. What ends up happening in a person that eats like that is called the SAD diet, right? Thank you. It's called the SAD diet. What happens in the SAD diet when you're not eating fresh fruits and vegetables and when you're eating processed foods, you're not giving your body what it needs to actually do what it's supposed to do in your digestive system, which is multiple facets. Your digestive system absorbs nutrition from minerals and vitamins and things into your system. It helps with the transportation because it absorbs through your intestinal wall, and it goes right into your bloodstream. Okay. That's one of the biggest functionings of the digestive system, which is your intestine, large and small intestine, your colon, which is your the lower part of your large intestine. Okay. What ends up happening? Thank you. What ends up happening when you are on a SAD diet, you're not getting the amount of fiber that a person that would be eating fresh fruits and vegetables will be getting. That fiber is so important to your body because a lot of times what happens is your intestine, since it has a permeable wall, your blood pushes waste product or different things that are carcinogen based, mutation based, and things of that nature. They push it through to your intestine and it absorbs into your fiber and different things of that nature, and then it's excreted out of the body. Well, if you are eating a highly processed diet, one with a lot of meat, dairy, a lot of meat and dairy, processed foods, it is not able to absorb the toxicity like fiber does. Okay. And so a lot of times you'll see that even in a person that eats a high diet of processed foods and meats and dairies, they have constipation. Their body can't even move this stuff because this stuff is foreign to their body. Okay. And so a couple of things start happening when you are ingesting foods that are not normal or natural to your body. Number one, the body's not able to process and pass the food correctly. Okay, that is problem number one. When the foods, especially meats and dairies, sit in the intestine Y'all gonna have to excuse me, I'm yawning. It sits in the intestine for a certain amount of time. It starts to build up a plaque. Okay. Now, normal mucus is appropriate for our body. Our bodies naturally produce mucus. And that mucus is okay because it's used as a coating in the digestive system and is healthy. But what happens when mucus turns to mucoid, okay, from sitting in the intestine too long, what ends up happening is it turns into what we call a mucoid plaque, which is actually something completely different than regular mucus. Now, when you start having the transfiguration of your regular mucus over to mucoid plaque, it's almost like a tar. Okay, it starts turning black, and it's like a tar because it actually is decomposing the food. Okay. Now, when you start having decomposition and plaquing of the mucus, okay, that's when it starts to activate, okay, cell mutation, okay, and this is where cancer eventually will come from, okay, when cells start to mutate into your colon. The colon is, like I said, at the lower part of your intestine, large intestine, okay? You have an ascending and a descending colon. Now, the ascending is at the top, descending is at the bottom. The descending is where the feces is before it comes out, okay? The whole colon area is very susceptible to cancer. And the reason being is because so much waste sits right there. This is why it's so important. Hey, Christine, this is why it's so important for you to be having 2 and 3 bowel movements a day, if not more. Okay? You are not healthy if you are not having 2 or 3 huge bowel movements a day. If you are only having 2 bowel movements, they should be huge bowel movements. But you should be having at least a bowel movement for every meal you eat, if not more. I typically have small bowel movements throughout the day, and then I have one huge one in the morning. My body is actually trained. I'm serious. My body wakes me up at 5:30 a.m. every morning, and I get up, I urinate, my bladder is full, I completely urinate, and I have a bowel movement at 5:30 every morning. Then I go back to bed, and I typically get up for the day either at 7:30 or 8:30, okay? And when I get up at about 8:30, I have another bowel movement. So, the reason a lot of you may notice that you have a lot of it, whether it is urine or feces, when you get up, is because, remember, if you followed me at all, you know that I teach how important sleep is. And one of the things that we learn while we're sleeping is that the body is healing itself. Okay, so your immune system is killing free scavengers. It is supposed to be killing mutations and things of that nature in your sleep. Okay, and it's pulling toxicity from your body, and that's what your body is supposed to do. Okay, if you are not waking up in the morning, eliminating, something's wrong, and you need to talk to me, because you should be eliminating by about 6 o'clock in the morning. Between 4 and 6 a.m., typically you should be getting up, at least urinating. Your bladder should be full. If you go to bed about 11, 12 o'clock at night, you should be getting up at 5 a.m. with a full bladder. That's how it's supposed to be, because your urine and bladder and things of that nature eliminates a lot of waste and toxicity as well. Okay, so I want you to understand this. If your body is not eliminating the way it's supposed to be, you need to be talking to me, because there's a problem. This is where cancers start. Okay, now typically, I want you to understand how this works. Typically, once the mutations start to take place in the colon, the cancer feeds off of mucoid. The cancer typically feeds off the mucoid. So wherever the mucoid is, because remember, the cancer is always replicating. It wants to take over areas. And so what happens when it starts to go into full replication, it starts looking for food. Okay, and it feeds off the mucoid plaque. And so it has to go to different areas where the mucoid is. And this is where we run into people finding out they have cancer to the liver, cancer to the pancreas, lung cancer, and things of that nature. It typically does not start in those organs. I would say 8 out of 10 cancer patients, it started in their colon. But when the doctor found it, it was someplace else. Okay. And typically, when the doctors do realize that the cancer is other places, and they call it metastasizing, by then the cancer probably has spread all over the body. Okay. But I just wanted to come on here, guys, because I think it's so important to understand the whole necessity of you eating raw fruits and vegetables. Okay, the necessity of you doing colon cleanses, getting this stuff out of your body. I'm so serious. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not eliminating 2 to 3 times a day or more, you have a problem. Now, if you are one of the people that come to me, because I get a lot of people come to me that say they only have one bowel movement a week, okay, you are in trouble. Okay, and you need to be talking to me. I have put so many people on special diets, and did cleansings of them. This is not, when you have bowel movement problems, it is not reversed by a colon cleansing. I need you guys to understand that. And so, if you think all you need to do is drink a bottle of citrate of magnesia or some salt water to just make yourself boo-boo, it's not happening. That is not going to solve your problem. It might even make it worse. You have to get your elimination system to work properly. And so I actually have a program that I specifically do just for people that come to me that are not eliminating up to 3 times a day. Okay. And so what I do is I start them on a 2-week colon cleanse to start to get some, as much of the waste out as possible. Then I put them on what I call a digestive balance program. Okay. And this is where I do not use laxatives. This is where I actually use food as medicine. And then I use herbs that are not laxative based herbs. And I put them on a protocol. Now, typically between 1 to 2 months of the protocol after the colon cleanse, their body will start to kick in and do what it needs to do and eliminate 3 to 4 times a day. Okay. I found that people that I've done this with that had chronic conditions, once they started eliminating 3 to 4 times a day, hey, Tamika, then all of a sudden their chronic conditions are reversed. So I'm trying to tell you guys, it is so imperative. The bowel movements are connected to every type of health issue. It is, even cancer. And for those of you that are like really, oh my God, how do we know if you have colon cancer and things of that nature? I would tell people this as a rule of thumb. If you are not eliminating 3 to 4 times a day, you need to start acting like you already have it, because it's going to develop if you don't reverse the problem. I really, really, really cannot stress enough how much you need to talk to me if you're not having bowel movements like you're supposed to. In all seriousness, there is help for your issues. And I try to reiterate this a lot with people, that there is help for your issue. You do not have to settle for whatever health challenges you are having. And eliminations is one of those things. It is not normal for you not to be able to have bowel movements. It is not just how your body is. No, there's something wrong in your body and we need to correct it, or your body is going to start breaking down. I cannot stress that enough. Okay? It is a lot easier for me to help you before you have end-stage cancer. There is nothing that I cannot stand more than someone that has sat around, let the medical industry experiment on them, gotten them all the way to the end stage of whatever their issue is. Then they come to me. I'm so serious. And at that point, who knows if it's going to help, because healing of the body naturally takes time. So this is not an instant snap your fingers and I can reverse an end stage problem. And what tends to happen when I get people that come to me in an end stage of cancer, end stage of renal failure, we simply don't have enough time for the body to heal itself. And so it's a whole lot easier when you come at the beginning of a health issue instead of the end. Matter of fact, it's even more advantageous to come before the health crisis. In all seriousness, I'll never forget one of the first times I really was aggressive with a colon cleanse for myself. Now, I always have done, different things to make sure that I eliminated, renal is kidneys, on a aggressive basis, but I decided to just step my game up with my eliminations. And so I decided I was going to do this really aggressive colon cleanse one time. And I did the herbs, I did the different foods or whatever. And I will never forget this as long as I live. So I was eliminating. I had been eliminating for like 2 days. And, and not anybody that has taken any of my colon cleanses, they typically don't give you bad diarrhea, but they make you have a huge bowel movements. Now, some people do get diarrhea, but a lot of people don't. So in this particular instance, I had started off because I made mine really strong. So I started off with diarrhea the first couple of days, but then it started to level off and it made real huge bowel movements. And on the third day, it was so hard. It was something that felt like it was stuck in there. And it took me all day to finally get it. And when it came out, it was a compacted ball. And I didn't even think about it from any standpoint of it might be a tumor or anything. But whatever it was not feces. It was a ball. It was about maybe that big. And it was real compacted. Okay. And it was dark brown. And it had a little blood on it. And so I flushed it down the toilet. Now before that, I'm going to go back a little bit. Before that, I had been really fighting. I had low energy, and no matter what I did, it was like the energy level wasn't there, right? And when I tell you whatever that was that came out of me, whatever it was after that day, my energy skyrocketed. I had all this energy. I was just, on top of it, right? And I was in my head, and I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, I wonder what was that? And I just really got a revelation in my head, like, when you guys are over here doing these colon cleanses, when you're doing these detoxifications, you have no idea the level of disease that you are flushing down the toilet and you are preventing for yourself. And I truly believe that whatever that was that passed out of me, I truly believe that the enemy meant it for my destruction. And I just praise God that he is my healer, and he led me to do that colon cleanse and got whatever that was out of me. And that was a few years ago. And it's like, I do a lot of experimenting on myself when I want to push the limits of herbs. And, I did some experimenting with herbs. And dropped fibroids out. I mean, it's just like stuff just falls out. It's like, what is this? But it's an interesting process, It's an interesting process playing around with the herbs because I know so much about them and I like to push myself to the limits. I say I'd rather experiment on myself. I'm going to go outside of the regular recommended dosage for this and see what it does, because I know that if I go too far with the herbs, it'll just make me sick. But I'd rather experiment on myself. But I'm just really really, really impressing upon you guys to take some time and do a proper cleansing, okay, of your body. I would say start with some ginger shots, 1 ginger shot a day. Pick some weeks where you are only going to eat raw fruits and vegetables and do you a nice, good colon cleanse. If you do nothing else for yourself, I would advise you to do that, because sooner or later, all this bad eating, these lifestyle problems, and I just want to put it out there, because cancer is not all about the physical, okay? And I need to express that to you, because cancer is also a spiritual issue as well. And cancer has a lot of rooting in toxic emotions such as unforgiveness and bitterness and things of that nature. And so there's a two-part prong when it comes to cancer that you really need to deal with, because I'm just going to be for real with you. If you are a person that eating alkaline and you doing all the herbs right, but you are a bitter, hateful person, you can still come down with the cancer. You can still come down with sickness and disease. You have to deal with yourself on a 3-part level, because we are a spirit being that lives in a body and has emotions. And if you don't deal with all of those things all at once, you are doing yourself a disservice. Would you recommend this for those with loose bowels as well? More, I really don't understand your question. So if you can do me a favor and inbox me maybe, so that I can get some clarification on exactly what you're asking me. Can I do chickweed, elderberry, and ginger for a colon cleanse? Nope, that's not going to work. Let's see here. Somebody else. Hello. Hello. Hey, Pam. I cannot express enough to you guys. I love that everybody is doing research. I love that. And I encourage you to be reading and gaining knowledge. But there comes a time where you need to let a professional deal with the herbs. And don't try to put combinations together yourself. Okay? And I'm just saying that lovingly. There are times where, yes, it's cool to research some stuff and learn some stuff, but there is a lot of information about herbs that's not available on the websites, on the internet. And I think we all need to come to an understanding that there is a reason that people have the gifting of being a herbalist. Okay? Just like if there's an electrical problem in my house, I want someone with the gifting of being an electrician to fix it. I'm not researching that myself. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting that out there. And it's not no. Tamika, why you didn't remind me? I have been so busy. And I'm just now starting back and catching up on things. I am going to be doing my vlogs. You guys need to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm about to start doing my vlogs on healthy living, and I'm going to be doing it's like a mini series on YouTube called My Scar Has a Story to Tell, and it's about women dealing with traumatic incidences of abuse and things of that nature from men. And it is going to be a non-hateful feminist foolishness, because I don't hate men. I love men and I respect them. But this is something I'm doing to help women. I'm going to be sharing my story of a domestic abuse. And this is just going to be a healing point for us all. This is going to be a healing point, because a lot of women have went through the same thing that I have. Okay. And I had to end my relationship that I was just in, because that brother liked to beat on women. And I'm not one that's going to be beat on. So, woo. But I'm going to be doing a video on YouTube, and we're going to talk completely candidly about my experience of dealing with someone that likes to hit on women. And we're going to talk about different aspects of things that I went through and learned, and how my faith and how God led me into a zone of protection. It is an amazing story. And so I can't wait to share it with you guys. God showed out. When I tell you God showed out on that issue. Yes. Yeah, I try. You know what? In all seriousness, and now that I dealt with this issue, I'm being a lot more transparent, Pam, because I feel like now it's okay for me to be me. You know, I've always been very conscious of being in the spotlight on social media and afraid to be me. But I'm like, so me now. I think I appreciate me more, that I've been through the experience that I've been through. And I appreciate everything that I go through. Okay. And so on these vlogs on YouTube, I'm telling you guys, make sure you subscribe, because the vlogs, we're going to be talking about the struggle with weight. Okay, the weight. The struggle's real, baby. We're going to talk about being self-sabotaging ourselves, eating foods that we know are destroying our body, ways to overcome the self-sabotage. So we are really going to get into the gamut on my YouTube. Okay. So I decided to do it via YouTube instead of Facebook, because I felt like YouTube in some ways is a bit more accessible for people that maybe are not on Facebook. I have a lot of people that I work with or deal with that don't have Facebooks, but they have YouTubes. And so I decided to take it off of Facebook and to put it on YouTube so that everybody can access it. So it's cool. I am actually at peace. I'm at peace. And, you don't appreciate peace until you don't have it, right? So, yeah. So I just want to deviate back to what I came out here for, talking about the colon cancer. I am tracking down everybody I've worked with in all honesty, and seeing where you guys are at in your health journeys as well. So if I have not contacted you, I'm doing inboxes first. So I'm going to be inboxing everybody that I can first, and anybody that is not accessible inbox, I'm going to email, because some people contacted me via email, some people contacted me via inbox. And so we're going to be doing that. I am tracking everybody down, because we need to finish off this year strong and healthy. We are not going into 2021 with stuff mutating in us, with no energy, with weight problems, skin problems, throat problem. We're not doing that. We're about to deal with this, and we're getting rid of this. And so I want you guys to start getting some colon cleansing going, if you have not already. It's time to get this stuff out of you. Okay. And it's time for us to get on a healthier level. Okay. In all seriousness, I personally am so happy that I'm finally shifting back into who I am. Eating better. I already started back exercising, and I just feel alive. There is nothing more devastating than to have someone that's supposed to be by your side that is oppressing you or trying to kill your spirit. And I historically have levitated to people like that. And so we'll talk about that as well. Okay. Do anybody have any questions? I think we're going to do a full teaching tomorrow. I'm trying to think, because thank you. I really don't want to do a teaching on Facebook. I have a Zoom that I do my teachings on, so I'm trying to see how I can do this teaching without Facebook is a little more censorship. They don't want certain things being put out there. And so I'm respecting their space. This is not my business, right? So I try to stay within the confines of their rules and regulations because I don't want them blocking me on anything of that nature. So I think we're going to take the teaching to Zoom. And if I do that, then I'm gonna have to schedule a teaching. And I'm just trying to think how the best way to do it. So I'll let you guys know on that, because if I do a scheduled teaching, that means I'm gonna have to give people time. YouTube is Reflections Healing. I have to give a time and a day so that I can give people time to get the app and all that good stuff. But my Zoom can hold up to 100 people, and I typically on these lives I typically can have anywhere from 50 to 75 people. So I think the 100 people would be appropriate. But we'll see. We will see. So I want to make sure that you guys understand, in all seriousness, that physically, colon cancer develops from your inability to eat foods that are causing you to have frequent bowel movements. I need you to understand this. This is why you should not eat bread a lot. You should not be eating pasta. You shouldn't be eating rices. These things should be eaten periodically. And when I say periodically, once or twice a month. They should not be eaten every day. Some of you eat meat, dairy, and some type of pasta, rice, or potatoes every day, a bread. And that shouldn't be so. Your daily consumption should be fruit and vegetables. And periodically, if you must, eat those other things maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And I need you guys to get this. I need you guys to get this in your head. Okay? Those fruits and vegetables have fiber in it. And they're the type of fiber that when it gets in your intestine, the intestine wall pushes toxicities into the intestine, and this fiber actually absorbs it. Okay? It absorbs it all, and it pulls it out the body. And not only that this particular fiber that we're talking about from fruits and vegetables, it absorbs hormones. Okay? Think about this, guys. This is how estrogen dominance really happens in breast cancer people, because they're not eating enough natural fiber. Because what natural fiber from fruits and vegetables does, it absorbs estrogen. So it makes sure that estrogen is balanced in your body and that you don't have excessive estrogen. Okay? Think about this. All of this stuff stems from your diet. Okay? So it is of the utmost importance. Those things like apples. An apple is a miracle food. I know most of you guys don't think of apples like this. But apples is a miracle food. Apples are one of the highest fiber dense foods. And that it does the thing in the body. It does the thing. The fiber from an apple can pull toxicity on one of the highest levels. Just a simple apple. Why do you think they said an apple a day will keep the doctor away? That's not a saying people just randomly said. That's because it was true. Now, we do have to make sure we eat apples and ain't got a whole bunch of garbage on it, because they put wax and pesticides and all kind of crap on apples. So we have to be very cognitive of what we're eating, of course, because our food industry sucks. But apples, I'm telling you. What other things? Plums. Plums are amazing. A plum in its ripeness is amazing. The fiber is there. The natural sugars is there to help with energy. Plums are really good on the intestine. They make the intestine muscles move like this to push feces faster. Grapes. Oh my gosh, grapes are so good. Grapes are a natural blood cleanser. You're supposed to eat the grapes with the seeds and chew on the seeds and swallow the seeds too. They naturally clean your blood out. They pull toxicity into the intestine. Do you see what I'm saying about foods? We're talking about dandelion greens. Dandelion greens are so amazing because they're another one that stimulates the muscles in the intestine to move, and it's high fiber. But guess what dandelion green is? Dandelion greens have certain things in them, certain minerals in them that kills the replication process of mutations. It stops and kills cancer cells. Okay? It'll kill them. It stops them in its track from replicating. It kills them. That's what antioxidants are. Anti-mutagens and things of that nature. And so dandelion greens are up there. Kale is up there. These are what they call roughage. Okay? Because it when it gets in your system, it starts to pull. It like it's a rake on your intestinal wall. So it pulls stuff that shouldn't be there with it when it comes out. Okay, and these green vegetables, all have that chlorophyll in it. What does chlorophyll do? Chlorophyll will chelate the body, so to pull heavy metals. It pulls toxicity. It stops the replication of foreign invaders. It boosts your immune system. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys a few foods as examples. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? We are destroying our temple because out of laziness. Want to stop at McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King or Wendy's because we don't feel like cooking because we're so tired. You're exchanging your health for laziness. And laziness never works out anyway. If you're too tired to cook, just eat some fruit or vegetables. How do you make dandelion greens taste good? You first start putting them in your smoothies with your fruits. Your body will start to get dependent on the nutrition and it will change your taste buds. And you will be able to start eating those bitter dandelion greens. I've done it millions of times with different foods. This is how you get your body and your taste buds to change. You hide it. So what I first started doing when I first got into this lifestyle, I hated avocados like a passion. So what I did this food by food. I've always loved strawberries. And so I would make a smoothie with strawberries, put a lot of strawberries to overpower the taste of avocado. I will put an avocado in there. I did this for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then after that, I stopped. And guess what I started craving? Avocados. I started being able to peel an avocado and eat it like an apple. Okay? And I have done this with every single food that I eat. Because I didn't come into this lifestyle liking dandelion greens. They sucked. They made me want to throw up. Okay? And so I started putting them in a smoothie to mask the taste. You can make them when you put dandelion greens in a smoothie, put dates in there. Dates will mask the taste of the dandelion greens and your body will start getting used to eating them. But you have to be patient with your body. It's going to take 2 or 3 weeks of you eating them every day. And then your body will start craving them. And then you'll be able to cut them up and put them in salads and eat them. Eat dandelion greens like it's nothing. Okay? This is how we do this. Okay? We have to stop giving ourselves ways out of giving our body what it needs. Okay? And I agree with Shirley. She said after you detox, dandelion greens taste good. Exactly, because what happens when you put yourself through detoxification and you're not craving all that sugar and stuff anymore. You will start getting used to the natural taste of things. Because when you first put them in your mouth, they taste really bitter. But it's not even that they taste bitter. It's that you're so used to artificial tastes. And so this is the whole process of changing your taste buds. Okay. Avocados is one of the healthiest foods you can eat, and you should get used to eating them. And that's the truth. Because avocados have omega 6, was it omega 3, whatever the heart healthy mineral is. And avocados are super efficient. The minerals in them, they're super efficient about helping the heart to heal. If you cannot ingest the avocado fruit, you can get avocado leaves. Avocado leaves do the same thing. I typically give avocado leaves in packages when I help people when they're transitioning over, because it'll do the same thing as the avocado fruit. Well, Keisha says, can I do some demonstrations on how to prepare these foods? That's why I'm telling you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we're going to start doing that. I love sea veggies. Oh my gosh. And I'm making this combination. It's going to be called Superfoods combination capsules, and they're going to have all the sea veggies mixed in them. So, I mean, that thing is going to be super powerful. It's going to be potent. And there are sea vegetables that are approved that nobody hardly knows about. And we're going to get it popping. What do I think about eating the rinds of cantaloupe? All of the melon rinds are actually good for you, and they have a lot of minerals packed in the rinds. One thing that I know for sure, a watermelon rind actually is natural Viagra. It will cause a man to have super erections. And that's just a watermelon rind. And so all of those rinds actually have a lot of nutritional content in them, and people throw them away because they're bitter. They're not like the meat of the melon and be real sweet. So people tend to throw away bitter stuff, but the bitter stuff is what actually has the highest mineral content. Yep. Omega-3 fatty acid. I know it was one of the omegas. I couldn't remember whether it was omega-3 or 6. But yeah, omega-3 fatty acid is really good for the heart. Wait till you find your husband. I know that's real, Nita. I know that's real, girl. But yes, because sometimes I will dehydrate and grind it into powder, the watermelon rinds, and put it in my male capsules. Sometimes I do or don't, because I have so many herbs that just are specifically for men and their erection, so I don't really need it. But sometimes I'll do it, and I found that when I put that in there with that other herbs that I have for men, they be like, whoa! So this is not a male teaching. So we're going to bypass that. But I'm glad I got some of y'all attention with that one. Oh my God. To consume the rind. The best way, I think, to consume the rinds, if you cannot handle the bitterness, would be to dehydrate it and put it in a powder. In all seriousness, you can always dehydrate all of this stuff, powder it, and you can put it in your smoothies. I'm teaching on here tonight, ain't I? I'm about to get off here. So y'all, because I got things to do. I'm tired. I just got off work, but I wanted to come on here tonight to talk to y'all, because I know people are so super worried about this colon cancer thing. So, yes, we will save because anybody in my master herbalist class, I decided our next set of classes is going to be on men's health. So we're going to be talking a lot about men and erections in our next classes. I feel sorry for some of y'all spouses. y'all about to be putting all kind of weird stuff in their concoctions. Oh my God. I mixed mine. I just bought a dehydrator and a canner. Ooh. Oh my God. Y'all are so hysterical. I have missed y'all so much. It is so funny. I missed y'all so much. Yeah. Well, there are some things that I don't share just on a public forum, because sometimes people like to get information and then try to go do their own thing with my information. So I have to be very careful about what I'm speaking on. speaking on as far as certain things I'm not going to go into. But in the Master Herbalist class, we are going to talk about herbal concoctions and foods that will make a man's vitality increase. There is no need for any man to need Viagra, especially if they messing around and getting something from me. So I just want to put it out there. And I don't know, y'all have no idea how many men capsules I get. Them men be ordering that stuff on the secret. Because, men don't talk publicly about their erections. Man, they don't. But them men be on my website ordering them erection capsules. Getting it together. Most definitely. So anybody, that's WAP. Anybody that actually wants to go to the website, because someone just asked about the website. So the website is reflectionshealing.com. There are so many colon cleanses on there. If you just want to do a preventative colon cleanse for dealing with the colon cancer, you would do the Gut to Go Plus Mucus. That would be the colon cleanse you would do. If you are not having eliminations like you're supposed to, at least 2 to 3 a day, you would want to get the Plus Mucus Constipation, and then you would want to get a digestive package from me so that we can get you regularly using the bathroom 3 or 4 times a day. Okay. Other than that, I am about to check out. You guys are always awesome. You make me laugh so much. I have truly missed you guys, but I am back better than ever. Don't my YouTube channel so that we can connect there, and so you guys can actually see the video. My scar has a story to tell. It's my scar right here. My best friend always says, girl, why are you talking about that scar? But I said, this scar has such a story. It's such a story. And I am just excited to tell people about it. I really feel like, I really feel like God allows me to experience things and then share them. Okay, even though he doesn't have me go through situations, because I don't believe God puts anything like that on me, but I think he allows me to use my poor decisions to help other people. Okay, so we're gonna talk about on YouTube. We're really gonna talk about some of the really bad eating habits that I've had over the year. We're gonna talk about it. Yes. All right. So we are going to check out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any questions for me, you can always inbox me, and I am here for you. Okay. All right, guys. I want you to start getting serious about your health. Okay. We only got one life to live, and we not about to live it sick. Okay. So I need y'all to get this together. So you guys have a blessed and awesome evening. And remember, Jesus is Lord.